Just came in the mail. Look at what I got. Yes, sir. This car fitting to be painted. You know what I'm saying? So to start off, I had to debadge the car and then remove all the trim on the side. I found out that there was an easier way to do it after I'd done it, but all that adhesive was a pain in the ass to get off. After that, I had to remove the bumper and the grille to take off the headlights and fog lights. For some reason, the car company thought it would be a great idea to have 50 fucking screws in the goddamn bumper! I just farted if you didn't hear that. It was a pain in the ass, especially those headlights. The way they have those headlights in the car, it took me forever to get them bitches out. But finally, I got it done. After that, I had to do some body work to take care of the dents and the dings in the car. There was a lot more than I thought, but I had to learn how to do the putty. I learned how to do all the fiberglassing and all that shit. Puttying up the holes, puttying up the small dents. Gotta sand them bitches out pretty soon. But as far as the rest of the car goes, that bitch is sanded. Getting real smooth with this sanding. Looking real good. You know what I'm saying? Real nice and smooth. I'm just sitting here, or standing here sanding and shit, and some fucking rednecks gonna drive by and be yelling out the fucking window shooting birds and shit. Can't do shit in peace. Fuck the goddamn KBs. Now I'm going around and sending out all the deep scratches and little fucking dings, man. Like, little fucking dings. Goddamn focus. You know what I'm saying? Gotta sand all them bitches out. Apparently my first layer of sanding wasn't good enough. So before I can get to my second layer, I gotta finish my first or redo it. So apparently I was doing it wrong. I thought you just had to do like a light sand over the whole car, but no, you had to take everything off. I thought it was just taking the wax off. No, you gotta take the original paint off too. So I had to sand it all the way back down to the original primer. I'm so sick and tired of sanding this fucking car. This is like my third time, and I still don't think I've done enough. I don't know, this is the first time I'm doing this, so I have no idea how much to sand it. But I haven't even gotten the chance to sand it at 400 grit yet. I'm still at fucking 100. Yeah, I started off sanding the car with the wrong grit. I sanded the whole entire car 2 times with like 200 or 300, I don't remember, and realized that that wasn't what I was supposed to do. I'm supposed to start off with 100 and then work my way up to 200 and then do it again at 400. I ended up having to sand the whole entire car about 6 or 7 fucking times. After sanding the car with 100 and 220 grit, I went through and did a wet sand with 400. Ooh, I just farted while recording this. Alright, so the car is all ready. Just gotta wash it one last time before we start painting. Car wash. Woo, woo, woo. Car wash, girl. Yeah. Woo. Originally, I wasn't going to paint the insides of the doors and the door jambs, but after sitting and thinking about it for a day or two, I was like, you know what, fuck it. So I went through and sanded everything down, and that was a pain in the ass to sand. Then I had to go through and tape up all the fucking entryways into the car so that way paint won't get in it. I'm actually glad that I decided to do it because having the insides of the doors and the door jambs being black is actually a really nice look. Oh yeah, and I also did the inside of the trunk. After that, it was time to start setting up and prepping my work area, trying to get as controlled environment as I can. So you see me setting up some tarps, stapling them up, and taping them to try to get it as airtight as possible in there to stop all dust and debris and all kinds of shit from coming inside, especially bugs at nighttime. And when my friend came over, he damn near killed my ass with a heart attack. So I had everything set to start painting, right? Got everything closed in, got my lights, got the compressor, you know what I'm saying? Everything ready to start painting, right? I hook up the goddamn gun, and I couldn't figure out how to get this goddamn piece. It's locked, you know what I'm saying? It's closed, and I couldn't figure out how to get it in. So, needless to say, I popped part of the hose because there was too much pressure building up. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm fucking stalled now. Delayed again to fucking painting this motherfucker. Here you see me prepping the car and taping up everything that I don't want to get paint on, like the chrome trim and the windows. Alright. Got the bitch fully taped up and covered now. We ready to do this thing now. Let's get it. Here you see me putting on the first layer of primer. It's actually pretty fun to do. 2.5 coats of primer, done. Now we just gotta wait a couple days, sand it, and then start painting. So after waiting a few days to let the primer fully cure, I went ahead and sanded it down to get it real nice and smooth and ready for paint. As you can see, it was a very windy day. Those tarps were blowing like a motherfucker. Look at that pretty color. Before painting the car, I decided to use the trunk as a tester. For some reason, the shit wasn't coming out right, so I kept trying to figure out what was going on. Needless to say, the website where I got the paint gave me the wrong formula in mixing the paint, and I put way too much hardener in the paint. So then I had to sand down all the fucking paint that I just put on, but there was so much hardener in the paint. That paint was hard as fucking shit. I ended up sanding that thing for like 2 or 3 days. Like normally you can get the paint off with a grit of like 200, 100. I went down to 60 grit and still couldn't get all the paint off. Eventually I got it to look like this and said fuck it, and then just primed over it. After getting the right formula to mix my paint, we finally are able to start painting the car. After my first coat, I noticed there was a bunch of mistakes that I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I had blotching, I had tiger stripes, I could see previous tape lines through the paint, so I had to figure out how to fix that shit. And eventually, after a couple layers of paint, it started looking really nice. But then after removing more tape, I learned about paint creep, which is this right here. And this was another thing I had to fix. Every time I went a step forward in the process of this car, I had to take 2 steps back because I had to fix some bullshit mistakes that I didn't even know was possible. Not only that, in some spots when I removed the painter's tape, it also took some of the primer off, and I had to section off those parts and re-prime those and re-sand those down. Placement of the tape took me a little while too to do because I wanted to get the bitch to look perfect and I couldn't make up my mind exactly how I wanted it. I should have went and measured the shit out and made it like perfect, but eventually I was just like fuck it. At this point I was sick and tired of working on the car. It took me a total of 2 months to do this fucking thing. So I was like fuck it and just let it ride as it is. Here you can see part of the reason why this motherfucker took almost 2 fucking months to do. You know how many times I had to tape up this shit and retape it and buy more plastic and put more plastic on it and cut the plastic? I mean, I had to do this shit so many fucking times. It was ridiculous. But you gotta do what you gotta do if you wanna do what you wanna do, you know what I'm saying? One of the days the wind was blowing hard, the tarps knocked over the fan and it hit the fucking car and scratched it up. So that was another thing I had to fix. Now this is looking a hell of a lot better than earlier when I was painting the trunk. And you know my ass is motherfucking perfectionist, so I try to get that bitch as perfect as possible. Man, if it ain't one thing, it's another. Just keep getting fucking shit that happens, man. So basically, I ran out of the fucking reducer that I was using to clean my guns and shit. And I started using paint thinner. Well, paint thinner is not the right thing to use because paint thinner made the fucking paint turn into like a paste and clogged up my gun. And then clogged up my backup gun. It clogged all my motherfucking filters. For like 2 days now, I've been trying to find some fucking shit. I think I found some other reducer. I'm on the way to the store. I'm about to buy this shit. Hopefully it'll work and hopefully I can get back on it. Because my God, like, anything and everything that could go wrong has been going wrong with this fucking project. Just, what was it, 2 days ago when I was fucking painting, man. I had everything that could go wrong with the first coat. Went wrong. I had fucking paint runs. I had blotchiness. I had tiger stripes. I accidentally fucking tipped the fucking paint thing over, and if all the paint spilled out, splashed on the ground, and splashed up onto the fucking car. Then I had to wipe that off. Then I had fucking marks from where I wiped it off. Then I fucking was cleaning my shit with paint thinner, and I accidentally spilled paint thinner on wet fucking paint on the car. I'm like, God damn! What the fuck else is gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? It's fucking crazy, man. Anyways, be getting this bitch done though. I can't believe it's creeping up on 2 months that I'm in fucking working on this goddamn car. But anyways, hopefully everything's gonna work out. Hopefully we can get this bitch done in the next week, and I'll see you at the final result. Holla back. And of course you have to do multiple coats with each color. One of the days I was painting the car, my allergies were bothering me and my nose was running. I thought that it wasn't running that bad, but apparently it was because I had some snot drip out of my mask and onto the wet paint, as you can see right here. After the car was fully painted, I took it out into the sun to take a good look at it, and I noticed some marks on it, so I decided to wipe it with a towel, but because the paint wasn't dry, I ended up scratching the shit, so I had to go back and redo that. Now that the paint is all done, the car is looking really nice. The metallic flakes are popping, but to me, it's not popping enough. I want that bitch to be like really fucking shiny. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be able to see it sparkling from like 2 or 3 miles away. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be sparkling like Natasha's eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like I want the bitch to like twinkle and glisten. You know what I'm saying? So I had to order some online. I had to wait for them to come, and then I mixed metallic flakes in with my second layer of clear coat. So I was putting a coat of clear on, and before it dried, a fucking mosquito landed on my fucking car. I was able to pull the fucking body off, but his legs are already stuck in the motherfucking paint. So I guess I'm just gonna have a little story to tell with the fucking mosquito legs. Oh well, gives my car, you know, character. Now that the clear coat is done, all I gotta do is I gotta sand it 3 more fucking times, and then I gotta polish and buff it. I took the roof as a tester. I sanded it down, I put the polish on it, and I buffed it out, and it looked like shit. I was like, what the fuck did I do wrong? I don't know. I have no idea what I did wrong. So, you know what I'm saying? I was like, you know what? I'm not taking a chance of doing that on the whole car and fucking up the whole car. I'll just redo the roof later, but for now, it's done. Fuck it. So here is the car without final step of the 3 sandings and polishing and buffing.